like 5% of the problem,
Right.
and the AI can go ping, there it goes.
Yeah.
But the human doesn't know what the last 5%, 2% is
Nah.
until we see it.
No,
It's
but
like,
that can often be, particularly in software, that can be the part that kills the project. Like, how many software projects have you seen get to like 98% and then suddenly it's like not feasible,
oh,
right?
more, all of
That's
them
the
basically.
place where
Yeah,
they all die, is right at the end. Like,
yeah,
right at the start because they never got going, or right near the finish line is where they always die. There's hardly any problems in the middle.
yeah. What version of Windows are we on at the moment? Yeah,
Oh
is
god,
that?
I know. So, I mean that's a good lesson. Like that's a pattern that just keeps on coming up. Plus, I learned from that how to make the code in a way that controls what the bot can do. So, like after seeing it struggle, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go in there and surgically make the top level, the little bits that are just like so narrow that they come out like pseudocode. Like this
Hey,
file.
uh, um, can I just ask? Right, I know I'm time constrained, but I'm really wound up at the moment. It would be great to be able to just like spend an hour with
Oh,
you
if you want, buddy, sure
chatting
thing.
about this.
If
Yeah,
you if you're if
just
you're all
to
good with
just to
that.
just to get to normal or close to
All right.
normal because it's been emotional.
Well, what do you want to do? What do you want to how do you want to spin it?
Just um let's not bother recording it because well unless you want to because
I started the recording while you were in the middle of talking, and then I was going to tell you when there was a pause.
all right, yeah, okay, let's just talk,
All right. Let,
normal shape because
okay.
this is my
So
happy space.
all right. Shall I finish off this explanation?
Yeah, yeah, please. Yeah.
All right. So the key here was making a top level structure that the bot can then fill in the blanks. So then I like went off and made like I pulled out some functions into this file, which does a lot of like figuring out what the agent name is and the computer name is, and then I was like, now test it, right? And then it's very good at making all the tests, and it spotted a few little quirks. Like it came up with on its own, it came up with there was a really interesting one it did. It was like an evil test.
Evil test.
Yeah,
I like the
that's
sound
right.
of that.
Yeah, it was like attacker, evil, base domain, and then it made sure that my domain matching still
Ah, oh,
matched even when
oh,
someone was being real sneaky with the names.
good board. Scrunchies.
Right? I
Okay,
was
that's
like,
good.
thanks, bot. That's what I pay
Yeah,
you for, honestly.
yeah.
So that seemed to be the key. Like when I started this project, I didn't know enough about these kinds of structures, so I just had to push the bot at it. And then I recognized when things were getting wildly complicated and it was exploding, and I got to do all that in days, not months or years, and then spot where like I'm like, oh, okay, so if I make this control bit, then it controls the whole system, and that's where I'm at now. And
So can I just rewind 2 minutes?
mm,
So you wrote the structure, but it was empty, and then pointed
sort
it
of
with
I
pencils.
wrote the structure, but what I did was I made things like see, I just made up computer manager, and then I went computer manager dot and just named the functions that I wanted to call in it. And then the
Oh,
next layer down, I then fill in those functions with the help of the bot, and it's really just saying that at the top level,
oh, so you
this
stubbed it
piece,
out.
yeah, but the top bit is stubbed out precisely, and then these functions that do things can are able to be looser and looser as they go further away from the controlling top, but it won't fuck with how the top level app works.
Oh, so right. So in terms of essentially, you put in by stubbing out a structure which could be, a process diagram or
Yeah,
something like that, but
yeah,
you've done it in code,
yeah.
and
This is
then
effectively a process diagram in code.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then it's adhere to that, and it's honored. I'm not going to mess with your stubs, man, but I'm going to
yeah,
fill them out. Is that what
that's
happens?
right. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
That's cool. That's
Yeah,
cool.
that holds things together really nicely. But again, like I didn't know what the process diagram should be until I had like multiple loops around using Codex to like follow what I thought were good ideas and run them to ground. Um, so
How
that's
did you? I'm really curious about this because I think that is the pattern of actually using this stuff.
I know, right? That's the
Um,
it's unpleasant because you end up binning stuff and you're wasting time. But if you're good at it and you know that that's what you're doing and that's what you're here for, it can't get better than that.
right. How? If you, I don't know if you did any point, but what's your experience on if your process is actually needing revised? How's it good at revising it? Because if it's if you get a prompt
Start
that's
again.
saying,
Start again.
"All right, so straight back to blank, let's go for it,"
Start
and
again. Yeah, because it's not when you as soon as you revise the top level process, that's the start of the end. Like it's kind of like saying why was your process wrong? Like the
right,
process
because
was wrong for some, and then the bot has steered itself towards an old process and now you come in wanting changes and now it's sort of looking at it like it's like two things at once, like it doesn't it's better with a clean slate, as we well know, right? Like flop is better than revision. And
yeah,
if
and uh, I've been using the same or very similar, completely different paradigm, but well, no, the same paradigm but different application on revising prompts because uh, there is a certain point. I don't know if you've seen this, but there's a certain point where the context is polluted with bad ideas
I know, yeah,
previously,
yeah,
and it
yeah,
can't
and
unremember them.
yeah, well, yeah, and because it's like, well, you must these must mean something. So it never.
Yeah,
We probably need to make a bot that specifically does that, right? Like it purposefully untangles things because, or it purposefully reseeds them because the bots as they stand now are forced to take on everything because why would you say it if you didn't want the bot to
right, right,
take it
right.
in, right? And
Yeah, and if you've gone off piste and you made a mistake and you recognize it's a mistake, you
yeah,
can't say, "I've made a mistake there. Ignore everything about that bit." It
yeah, there's
doesn't.
nothing grinding in the background to try and cleanse the top level process all the time and separate out all the consequences. There's nothing trying again, like it sits
Yeah,
there and it's like, this is it. The code from
yeah.
God on stone
Yeah,
tablets.
exactly, exactly. It's like Master has told me to do this, and therefore I remember everything Master has said, even
Yeah,
though Master was
Master.
wrong.
Yeah, yeah. Even though Master is wrong, Master knows better than me, and I will do as Master did. And it's like, no, man, it's not. It's really not what I want.
And so the one process I've been using is getting taking all the context and then putting that into a clean thread, and then getting it to summarize the clean thread, and I'll say a few things, and then take that output into another clean thread, and
Yeah,
then
it's
say
like a,
let's
a,
start
a
again.
refinement cycle is needed, and I'm sure that that can be agentified.
Oh, for sure, yeah, because it comes out really well if you do that refinement, but if you stay in
Yeah.
the same thread,
Oh, you're fucked. You're so fucked.
yeah.
So probably what'll happen is I'll ditch of all the code that's in this repo. I will probably ditch about 3/4 of it with this new revision.
Okay.
Um, and it's come out much lower latency to operate on and a very much simpler design. Um,
That feels healthy.
it is, yeah. Just again, delays, so annoying. Um,
Yeah.
but I guess yeah. So I'll get this thing up, and then what'll happen? Oh, there's a consequence of this. You can't have subdomains that represent agent paths or agent hierarchies. I can give you agent hierarchies inside the app, but I can't do it with subdomains. There's more restrictions on subdomains than I realized. Each segment in a subdomain can't be more than 63 characters.
Oh, didn't know that.
No, that's the DNS thing.
Hmm.
And then the total number of characters can't be more than like 253 or something like that. Like it's some
Oh, all right.
it's
Oh,
some kind
well,
of low
so
number.
so back in the early 90s, they hard coded
Yeah,
something in, and now we can't change it. Yeah, okay, fair enough.
exactly. And we're like,
Yeah.
I think you can definitely have Asian characters in there. You might, I don't know if you can have emoji in domain names, but that could, you know,
That would
expand
be
the
funny.
space out a bit.
That would be funny.
So how it's going to go now is it's just the agent name is chosen and it's treated like an ID, so it's permanent for the life of the agent. And
Hmm.
the URL, the subdomain, is always agent dash dash computer, and
Hmm.
then the relationship to other agents can be determined when you're talking to the agent, but it doesn't present itself in the subdomain.
Are you passing the specific agent to go to as a parameter then in the URL, or?
No, the specific agent and the specific computer are still in the DNS name.
All right. Okay. All right. So it's uniquely identifiable.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that works.
But look, everything else is looking pretty great, man. I'm just all about that NFS file system. It just makes the world simpler to think of. I think one of the level jumping techniques in this model is that the top level directory that holds all the computers doesn't technically exist. It's just it's virtualized. Like the directory names are guaranteed to not collide because they're public keys,
Mhm.
but like there's no actual folder anywhere that holds all the top level computers in the full blown distributed decentralized version. But
Mhm.
when you think of it like that's root is virtual, it doesn't exist for real, it's just made up of cryptography, magic, and availability. And then
Mhm.
that's all the computers in the whole wide world, and you can sort of go and you can browse the ones you know about, you can go into ones that you've got access to. um,
Yeah, that's uh where's the hard limit? Is there any hard limits on that?
256 bits, which is unlimited
Bits,
effectively.
no, not bits, no. Characters, I mean.
No, bits.
Bits? Jesus. Okay.
256 bit, that's a lot, man. You won't run out of numbers on that.
Yeah, okay.
You won't even
Yeah.
run out of random numbers in that. Like if you,
We'll give it a good try.
you won't even have a random collision. The odds are so small.
Oh, that's an interesting point. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
I'm about all over the place at the moment, but that is an interesting point about collisions. They're without any centralized
that's
directory.
the key. That's the key. So IP addresses, you need a registry because you can collide. Ethernet Max, you need a registry, but with public keys, you don't need a registry. And if the identity of a computing system is based on what it presents and proves as its public key, you do not need a registry.
Ah, right. So the collision space is actually ludicrously high because you're dealing with the key.
That's right. And so, in that way, it has the same properties as a directory where you're guaranteed that every entry is unique and it follows a particular format and all that. But there is no real directory anywhere. It's just all the entries in the directory are public keys, and it just helps a lot to think of it as like the root directory, and it's infinite, and it's got all these computer folders in it. And then from there on, you just go, well, everything I do, I mount the root and then I just read from whatever I have access to. So that's how file sharing in Linux works. You can mount the root of the enterprise file server, but it doesn't mean you can see everything. You just browse around and you see what you can see. Sometimes you can even see a directory is there or not. Other times you can't. You can go into some, you can't go into others. Like, it's just a very simple way to think about hyperspace.
That's really nice. That's really nice.
Yeah. And so now I'm gonna draw on all our Git skills that we picked up over the years, and then make the NFS hyperspace be transactional. So because at the moment I'm doing things with, I'm writing to files and I'm creating folders on the NFS file system, but once we switch to it being Git backed, you'll need to call one extra operation, which is commit, and then it will make the changes to the file system appear like they strobe, like they just go smash, and then a whole lot of things change, and a whole lot of things change. And so you never get this weird like intermediate state, like, did I finish writing that file? Did I not? Is the disk corrupted? Did I lose that thing? Who overwrote my file? Where's my file lock? Oh shit, I've been restarted. It's now 2 days later. Fuck, what do I do? Like, the Git thing gets rid of all of those
yeah, I think that's
mutability
really
issues. Yeah, that's really powerful. And I started thinking about these machines as the more it's like we're making crashy computers. Like, they're designed to halt all the time. And so if you think of a Git commit, it's not a snapshot of the running machine, it's a snapshot of the crash recovery point. And because it's doing it, it's able to do it many times a second if we need it. The key to the system is treating each agent like it's crashable. It's expecting to be shut down, restarted, shut down, restarted. Each Git commit is a point at which it may be restarted again. And that's what allows us to treat the computing fabric a bit like a functions as a service type of environment, but also be long-lived, arbitrarily long-lived. Like, you could be, days or weeks.
The long-lived thing is the storage, which, is unbounded. You could, we were talking about you just pay for store.
Yeah, but it's also like long-lived execution as well. So
yeah.
So I have got coded in here that model where the agents are just these folders on disk, and then based on economy, there's a process manager that decides when to spin up a new container to run it on, and then when to shut it down, and then when to have containers in, hot standby ready to be told what agent to run and all that. And so like, it's very, very efficient, but also very quick and responsive, I think, and cheap, which is good.
Yeah.
So it's looking good, man. It's just
it's looking actually really quite graceful.
Graceful, almost.
Not something I've ever said about a piece of software
or anything. I never heard you use that word before.
No, it makes sense. And as I was saying the other time, you can hold it in your head all at once.
I know, right? I guess that's what I'm worried about. I'm like, is that everything? Like, it felt like it was fascinatingly complex, and now it's like, oh well, that's trivial. But look, I mean, I have continued over the years to design a system in a way that can be blockchain based. That's partly why the delays. The system, I find no faults in running it in a blockchain way on consensus. This new constraint of making it Cocoa capable, it fits that too. And in fact, the Cocoa constraint hasn't really been a burden because Fly.io and this agentic model sort of fits so exactly inside Cocoa that it's really not a problem. Like,
it's just a matter of keys, right?
Keys and container orchestration. So that's been real fun. So I think that this design takes us into Cocoa land. and blockchain land all together. But still the question remains, Maxwell. What to do, what to do, what to do.
Well, we've got or we'll have very soon, a very useful tool. What to do?
A very useful tool. Yeah, exactly. So there's also like new things are coming out from ChatGPT, right? So GPT Pulse came out today, which is it grinds away in the background trying to basically make you a social feed that you would like, because it looks at your chats and looks at stuff you've been asking about and goes off and does background research and tells you when something cool happened.
Yeah, so right. Yeah.
So that's part of that proactive piece. And then there's like, these voice agents. I just can't take my mind off them. Being able to call anyone in the world and be like a concierge. If your sole job was to ring up and be like, how can I make you money and take a cut of that? How can I be of service for a commission?
Or even better, you haven't asked me, but you've missed a trick here. Why don't you consider X?
I know. I detected when I re-listened to our calls your reticence to cold call someone.
Well, I've been thinking about that as well. Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
Did you interrupt me to tell me?
No.
Sorry to interrupt you.
I've changed my position quite a bit on the calling.
Yeah. Well, look, I believe that I know what you mean. Like, we're not rude people, and we're not spammers or anything like that. But there is an aspect of salesmanship that all technical people shy away from naturally, and it is a little bit bold, the salesman thing. And I don't think that we're disgusting people. We're not spammy people. So we still need to outreach, but it'll be in a nice way. So what I realized as a rebuttal to some of your cold calling concerns was to say, well, if you rang someone up and you're like, hey, is that Jim? Like, you probably wouldn't ring someone unless you knew who they were. So it wasn't just a blanket. You're like, listen, Marjorie told me to call you and blah, 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 blah. And then they're like, don't call me again. I don't want any more calls. And you're like, would you like us to stop all your unsolicited calls for you? And then you can start from there, right? Because we're like, we can.
So I was re-listening to our conversation, and I was trying to think why did it feel weird? And I think it felt weird because I was kind of it's the uncanny valley thing. It's the I'm getting called by an AI who knows more about me than it should. But then I was reconsidering, and it's like there's this old joke that Amazon knows me better than my wife because you can ask me more.
You told me this joke.
Yeah, exactly. So there is an uncanny valley thing, but
why is that your concern?
Get over that.
Yeah, but why are you concerned about them without allowing us to probe actual data?
The reason is because of that transition from, hey, scammers, data scrapers, data,
Right. So you don't want to be a spammer, is all you're really saying, right?
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
I don't want to be a spammer either. But I tell you, if a bot rang you up right now, sounded polite, pleasant, knowledgeable, and was like, I represent a network of people that would love to do anything you like, and we'll even try to do it for you, would you like? I'd probably at least hear it out. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
Tell me.
Yeah. Exactly.
But I think that like we can get a lot of business just from making it for ourselves, using it ourselves, and then our friends would use it, and then they would recommend it to their friends, because it gets better if your friends use it too, and then it has knowledge about the two of us.
Yeah.
Right? So it's really like, in a way, it's a social network, but it's a concierged one where, like, You and
Yeah,
I
and
both talk to the concierge, and the concierge tries to help us solve
well,
individual problems, but also as a group, we solve problems.
yeah, a lot is in presentation. So, for example, and this is probably not the right answer, but for example, if the call started, hey, this is Tom's bot. I'm working on his behalf, and I've been looking at your last conversation on YouTube, and here is an opportunity you should think about. I've also talked to Tom. Would you like to know more, kind of thing? Um, as opposed to there is a network effect about reputation.
Yeah, like you
That
can be introduced by someone, like you're like, hey, I got your number
Yeah,
from Scotty, thought that you'd appreciate this call,
yeah,
like this is
yeah.
what it's all
If I
about.
got a call from your bot, I go, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
So I know where this is coming from,
yeah,
and I'll probably talk to it.
yeah, yeah.
Likewise, a random company is like, hey, yeah, you're, you
But
know,
like if we could be proactive about it, and it wasn't just pure AI, it was AI with some people behind it. So you're like, hey, can I really need a cheeseburger within the next half hour? Can someone sort that out for me? And then like it coordinates people, right? And it also gets to use all the existing services like Uber Eats and whatever. But it also, it might be like, I think that this human is feeling lonely. I'm not going to say that to him, but this other person's feeling lonely too. I might suggest to each of them that they be in the same area at the same time, and then maybe they should meet. Like
right,
it,
right.
it's a
Uh,
social network in disguise. Like it's like if you could talk to God, God would probably say things to other people on your behalf that helped you, but they didn't. You didn't know it. They didn't know it. Like it's a guidance system, right? Where if you trust its motives and you both trust its motives, then it can suggest things that are mutually beneficial to you without saying them outright. Or
yeah, yeah, absolutely. And like I say, um, until the inflection point is where it takes action and takes money out of your account or whatever. Um, but up to that point, if it identifies itself as linked to a person you know in your network, or a group of people, or an
yeah,
organization
or
that
it
you
got an
know,
intro, or even if the human did the intro on your behalf, you're like, hey, I've been talking to the Dreamcatcher. I think you should talk to the Dreamcatcher too. And then
and that feels helpful, right?
yeah,
As opposed to, well, I think the concern was the cold calling aspect, but when I was thinking about it
nah, man, it's
more, it was
not. It's not. It's never ever gonna be that blunt. It's always, and it's infiltrating. Like it's always pushing the flame front of the network infiltration. It's always getting introed and passed on. And honestly, half the time it'll probably get ripped out of our hands. Like who wouldn't want that? Like, wouldn't you want your family and friends to use that so that you guys could never have schedule clashes and you could always like remember birthdays and
yeah,
plan
wouldn't that be
things?
cool though? You get a call from a number that you know because you're part of the network, and it's your concierge and saying, "Hey, you remember it's your wife's birthday tomorrow?
Yeah, but it's
Uh,
the
here's
the
what you
the
bought last year."
the main embodiment that we're trying to achieve is to present as another person. So the Dreamcatcher as a person has a WhatsApp profile, a WhatsApp contact. It has an email address. It has a Facebook page. Like it looks like a person and it talks just like a person. Plus, you can call it on the phone. Like that's the entry
Yeah,
point.
yeah, absolutely. And what you just said there, I think is quite an important thing. Is proactively someone can call up the concierge and saying, "Hey, I've got this problem. Can you go
Yeah,
and sort it out for me and give me a call back?"
yeah. But so I think maybe what we're saying is that the shrink wrap or the face of our product is ultimately this concierge ergonomic packaging. Like that's what the ergonomics of the Dreamcatcher looks like. That's how it is presented to you, is as a single long-lived person. The network talks and the network speaks as one, and you can come in with a web page with chat, a terminal session, a phone session, any mode of communication you like. But that's how we represent what we've been making as a unit, as a thing for consumption, to be of use, to be of utility. It's not it's all the fucking underlying plumbing and the fucking fly machines and the proxying and Dockers and SSL certs and all that shit.
No user's really going to care about that.
They never have, they never will. But we present as one voice. We're like, hi, I'm the Dreamcatcher. I want to do whatever you want. Like, tell me your problems. I can even have it, like all this stuff. And it's like instead of trying to solve a point solution, it's trying to be the broker for all solutions. And that means solutions that don't have an off the shelf offering. That means like coordinating deals, packages, everything. Like, it's the fucking problem solver.
Yeah. And when I was thinking about this yesterday, I was kind of reframing it. I was talking about the Amex Platinum Concierge thing. If we reframe it as your PA.
Yep.
Your PA, not someone else's.
Correct.
That has your best interest in heart and knows what you've been doing, and
Yep.
that's all fine because you've given permissions to,
Yep.
to look at your data and so on, and can do things like talk to your work organization.
Yep.
Can talk to your restaurant, make a booking.
Anything. Yeah, anything. But the thing that's gonna keep us, that seems like the form factor that all AI has to become, right? Like ChatGPT has to become that.
Yeah.
And the only thing that's going to keep us different or safe is that confidentiality bit. Because that amount of power is scary to give over to anybody, let alone a multi-billion-dollar multinational company led by and founded by questionable people in a questionable country. I mean, who really knows, right? So with what kind of government oversight, blah, blah, blah. And so Coco's kind of the safe zone, right? It's like it's an agentic form factor that is confidential, that gives you similar, if not better, performance than the commercial offerings, but you also can take it offline with you.
Now, I had an interesting conversation yesterday with, I think I'm okay to say this. Yeah. With the Total guys. And I was describing Coco in,
Buddy, were you late for that?
terms.
Were you late for that?
No, actually. Well, I was almost late, but I was on time.
Dude,
I was like,
dude.
I came in sweating, having driven down the motorway at more than the generally accepted velocity.
Dude, you can't. You.
It was squeaky bum, but I did get there.
And poor Marla, I mean, how much she felt. She's like, oh no, I set up this thing, and then where is this guy?
I know. And it's like, am I going to have to take this call myself? And it's like, oh, shit. Anyway, didn't matter. Because
it does matter, but I got there 2 minutes ahead. This time, you were like one flat tire away from being...
Yeah, I was... or
one traffic jam away from
one traffic jam away from... Yeah. The interesting thing was, I was explaining. Now these guys are not, they're not dim, but they're not at the kind of flame front of what's going on here. And I was explaining Coco was basically, well, it's previously we've got encrypted at rest, we've got encrypted network, and it's with Coco encrypted at runtime. and that was about as simple as I could explain it. I still don't think they got it, so I think I need to work on the implications of that.
It's
This
a
is most
subtle thing.
understanding.
Like it fucked me up. Like I still owe an apology to like one of the CERN guys because he was out. He didn't know. He just wanted to know. He was like, yeah, blockchain, yeah, blockchain, yeah, blockchain. But how can I know if someone read my data? And I was like, dude, you can't know that. Like, how are you gonna, But turns out that you can have that feature.
Yeah, yeah, and it is. I guess what I'm saying is, even to people who are, long-term IT specialists and so on,
Yeah.
the implications
Well, maybe a
are not
simple way,
obvious.
like maybe a simple way is to describe it in terms of the problem it solves. It's like, how protected are you from a sysadmin? How protected are you from a janitor booting off a USB key on one of your servers and installing something in the firmware or doing something fiddling with the machines? Like,
Well, interesting enough, I used the sysadmin uh, point, and still, I don't think they really got how important it is to be able to
right,
have secure
confidentiality. Yeah, it's funny, eh?
computation.
Like, it's like they understand why you should encrypt at rest and transit, but it's like, why would I need to encrypt it while it's in use? It's like, dude, yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway.
yeah. So
Um.
that's work to be done.
So
But
I think I wanted to check with you. You said to me that a lot of the feedback the sentiment you're picking up is people having had enough of their data being mined and exploited, so that someone else is
mhm.
benefiting from it. They don't know how or why, but it's definitely not them,
Yeah, and
right?
also it's not clear what the impact of that is, but they feel that they're getting ripped off, but
Yeah,
they're
right.
not
They're
losing
feeling
any
like something
dollars.
valuable is being made using something that they produced, but they're not seeing any kind of.
Right.
Yeah,
And it's like with Facebook. It's like if there's no charge, then you're the product.
right. But Coco feels like it solves that, right?
It does.
And I just wanted to check with you because a lot of people I've met, they're like, well, I don't want to use that cloud stuff, or like they don't want to
Yeah.
sign up for Gmail because I don't want those social networks having. I don't want those guys having my information. And I just wonder if we can't find enough of these guys and just check in with them to see, like, would Coco solve it? It's like, well, if we could guarantee you Coco, would you still worry like that?
Well, what are the guarantees uh, in a bullet list? Um, the guarantee is that your data can't be accessed by anyone else. Well, can be accessed only through a key,
With your
and
permission.
you own the key.
Yeah.
So you own at
In
rest,
fact,
in
well, even
transit,
better than
and
that, no, it's,
computation.
I mean, if you wanted to be subtle about it, you can have a key that no one owns, and it's like you can set up a machine that will just keep running, and you can have some access to it, but the ultimate heart of the computer can be out of anyone's reach. Like you can
So
fire up a Coco.
yeah. So stand by. Give me a second. So that gets very close to take the PA thing. The PA is their own person, and if you
Yeah.
trust the PA to be trustworthy,
Yeah,
that's
like
all you need to know.
Coco is what enables an AI to be sovereign, self-sovereign,
Right.
out of anyone's reach. And so long as that AI is providing value enough that it can earn money to keep the Cocos running,
So
which is the same.
someone puts a pistol to your head, you're still going to go through the same interface and have to convince the your virtual PA to give you the information.
That's right.
But you
You're like,
can't pull out the
you can set
information.
that up in a way that you can't actually turn it off other than starving it. and it has the ability to earn money, or you could load it with enough money to last a really long time.
Right, right. It is getting very close to being actually
So
identifiable person, really.
what's the word for that? It's like not sentient, but an element of sentient is the longevity and the
Hmm.
inability to be just shut down on a whim. Like you're not really sentient if someone can just decide like reboot, like, and also there's a part of it that is like if you can't be replayed, like if you can't be simulated, like Coco can give you the power to not be simulated. It's like it is in this timeline with us. The fact
Mm.
that you can take computers and virtualize them and rerun them, the computer can have no idea where it is, right? So how can it have a long running mind or a concept of time? It's not in our timeline, it's in a virtualized timeline.
Oh,
But
there's something
Coco
really
can
subtle there,
be
isn't there?
our timeline.
There's something subtle about the unitary nature of that. It's like you can't clone it, hack it. FBI comes around.
It's the rarity of it. It's the
You can't.
rarity of it. It has the ultimate. It's precious. Like
Mm.
it's unique and it's unforgeable. Those are the qualities of a currency, but they're also the qualities of what we like to imagine a human or a soul has. It's this un
Identity.
it's unrecoverable. Like it can't be copied,
Can be cloned.
can't be
Uh,
halted.
can't. Your interface is just the interface, and it's like you are talking to effectively for Turing test. You know, well, you're talking to a thing.
That's exactly because you can't reach out and shut it off. Just like you can't, well, really, reach out and shut off another person. Like you can,
Yeah,
like
yeah. There's something really subtle there, isn't there?
and then it has this concept of being killed. Like because it is actually difficult to kill, killing takes on a bit of a meaning for it now. Right? Because if
Yeah.
like you could snap your like people don't really worry that much about killing ants, right? But like I don't know if you've ever, well, I know you have killed a bigger thing, like
Yeah.
a deer or something like that.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
they take a lot to take down, man. Like, and you've done something at the. You're
Yeah.
like, oh
And
man,
then, there's something unique that has been destroyed by doing that.
and it can't be respawned or replayed, right? If you pop a Coco or you kill a Coco, it can never be respawned, redone because you busted the keys. It's like the essence is gone.
What's the word for that though?
I know.
It's like a permanence.
Yeah,
There's like a what is the word for that?
it's partially immutability. It's partially like it's the concept of actual consequences. Like it actually matters now what it
But
does.
yeah, yeah. To get slightly, if you forgive me, philosophical for a second, there is um, it's not identity. Um, there's something between identity and agency together, and uniqueness.
Mm. Oh, well, I'm sure we'll
Um,
figure it out. But anyway, it seems to be that the form factor is coming as an agent. So the whole of the Dreamcatcher network, all the computing, all the tokens, all the everything, and all the people within it, all their activities, all their problem solving, all that is presented back to you as a single PA.
yeah. Um, the thing I was reaching for there, though, is how people interact with it. And if it gets this idea of identity permanence, let's call it for now, that's horrible, but we'll go with it. Identity permanence, then there's going to be, if I were to have something that had identity permanence, that knew all about what I was up to in the org, and I trusted it, and it was
Right.
calling me, and I was calling it,
Right.
I would probably anthropomorphize that thing.
Well, especially since we'd do it for you anyway. Yeah. And you'd feel a very strong attachment to it. Like you'd have the ultimate stickiness with it because you're like, that's my
Yeah,
companion.
yeah,
That's my AI friend. And it would be upgraded and whatever. But because you trusted that it kept your secrets and that it served only you,
that's the key, isn't it? Because you don't, even with another person, even with your wife or your husband or whatever, um, you can't. The whole relationship is around trust. It's like you're not going to be
confidentiality.
you're
Confidentiality is
you're
the
not going to
key to
shaft
it.
me. Yeah,
Well,
which
there's no, no. That's trust in terms of the actions that you will take, but confidentiality is a element of it too, which is that you won't divulge information that is sensitive.
yeah,
Right. Whereas, like, if you've got big tech that sees all your data, I mean, people hate it now, and all they got is your emails. Imagine how
yeah.
much they'll hate it if they got your AI conversations.
Well, that I think that you just hit it right there because at the moment people do get obsessed by their Facebook feed.
Yeah.
She does it all the time. She's constantly on that, even though she knows that she is the product and all that information is who knows where,
Yeah.
getting sold to who knows what.
Yeah.
Um, and there's plenty examples of uh, cars reporting back data to the car maker that you've been speeding, and then suddenly your insurance goes up. People really do not like that, and there's a bit of
No,
a zeitgeist about, oh fuck you, it's my data.
that's right. But is it though, in the current scheme of things? No, I really do think that Coco's the differentiator, and it's something that we can deploy it, and we'll be ahead of the crowd. I think because you need to blend AI agents, which is already hard, with confidential computing with blockchain, and we can bring those things together. I think in a way that's sort of not really out there. Um, and that's I think the place to put our bets on the
I,
table. Like that's the place to gamble.
I think so because that combination is so esoteric. I would be surprised that anyone's spent the last 6, 7 years thinking
Those
about
three
it.
things together are not commonly. Each one of
Yeah,
those is a rather a rarefied sort of a substance anyway, but
yeah,
altogether they don't really. It's hard to mix.
yeah.
But once we've got it, obviously people can see it. But I think that's when the utility of the network starts to come to bear, like the rate of improvement, the coordination between people. Like two Dreamcatcher coordinated people will probably outperform maybe 10 or 20 undreamcatcherified people. And then if you got to a network of even 100, like 100 people coordinated by an AI would be brutal, actually.
I know, I know, and the maths of network effects are, equally brittle. It's very difficult to come in, even if well, it was all open source. It's very difficult to build another network.
Yeah. But this one has it because it turns us into a wolf pack, a coordinated, tightly knit group with no internal squabbling over how to divvy up costs or benefits.
Yeah,
And that's just, first of all, the social aspect of AI is fledgling, but sorting out who gets paid, like
have you seen anyone looking at social network of knowledge and utility?
I've never I've never seen it. I don't know why.
I keep looking for it. I keep looking because I've got this kind of nightmare, falling asleep kind of fright
Mate, if
thing
it's out
where
there,
everything else is
it'll for
doing it.
sure be out there somewhere, but it's not. It hasn't caught on or taken off or whatever. Like,
It's not obvious, is it?
no,
That's
no.
the thing, and it's not easy.
Yeah, I mean, like it took Zenova to show us about it, whereas this concept's been possible for half a century.
Zenova would be, almost out of the shrink wrap box, easy to do,
Mm,
unless I'm wrong
mm.
with,
Yeah, so I guess long term, I think the plan is. Do you agree with that concierge form factor, or do you think that that's just a whimsical thing that will pass? Is that
um,
the face of the Dreamcatcher?
I guess I'm getting a bit, ew, um, seems too large a fish to eat all at once, but I don't see why. I think that might be an irrational
I
thing
don't
to
think
think.
it's too
It's like
large.
it's
Yeah,
uh,
it can start
it,
off as just your friend you email.
well, this is the thing. If you had an AI agent that called you up, reminded you, and suggested things that it found, you could call it up or text it. Then, in your own head, it is just another person out
Correct.
there doing stuff on your behalf.
Correct.
If you could trust that friend to the end of days,
Yep,
then you would tell it everything.
that's right.
Um,
That thing and that friend would outlive you. If we built CocoNet right, that friend would be here long after you. It's almost a way that you could live forever in a way. Like it's like it would know so much about you that it could be you.
we're getting into Dark Mirror territory here, of course. um,
But
uh,
yeah, without Coco, all these AIs are just they're transient.
hold a second. I've got a knock at the door.
Uh-oh.
Thanks. Be right back. Sorry, man. From the sublime to the ridiculous. Okay. Well done. Cheers. Um, so, what to do? How? I think probably the first thing is to get those individual PAs
Well,
inside of an organization.
no, it's to have it be for us.
Well, yes, but if we count ourselves
I
as
was more
like,
meaning the big steps, right? Like so we'll get this version up because that gives us the basically the web 2.0 version of it.
mhm.
But then what? Like, is it so the web 2.0 version gives us the AI utility so we can get the form factor right, we can get the swarms, the inter-agent communication, the holding the data and all that. And then Then I can switch to making the NFS server be Git backed, and then I can switch to making it Cocoa. But I could do Cocoa before blockchain because it would
Yes.
because Cocoa can be used without the chain, but you got issues with mutability. So I don't know what's
The order, the stack rank.
yeah, right, because I don't believe either of those things take a long time. They just definitely, we got to get the Dreamcatcher this version up first, and it feels a little bit too light and too efficient to be the real thing, but hell, it might be. It's just, it feels a bit it feels like a scaffold instead of a building, but maybe that's fine. I mean, the International Space Station is a bit of a scaffold.
I did not share your worries on that one.
Okay.
Because you are far more skilled in the art of software than I am, but also I think you are also far more influenced by your experience with building software.
My hands are dirtied. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So fine. I'll continue down this path because it looks like the best one, and I honestly, any day now, like tonight maybe, it'll be up and working, and then that'll mean that you can come in, log in, you get your own agent swarm. The agents are very basic, but then we'll start adding the features, because then once I've got that foundation in, then we can talk features, and you're like, I want it to
Yeah,
do this,
exactly.
do that.
The thing and the thing that stopped me using it, for example, with my son, is that there's no auth.
Yeah. So I'll give you auth, and then you'll have your own computer, and then you
Yeah.
can go do whatever. And then we
Yeah.
can use it for a bit to knock all the rough edges off and all that, and then figure out, all right, like, because I don't want to tune it too much for Fly's infrastructure if we're trying to move to Cocoa anyway. So I'm sort of like, that's part of that is
Yeah.
like, like, I need to choose.
Don't worry about that. Well, there's two parts. There's the back
And then the
end,
currency.
flying Cocoa and so on, and the currency for Dreamcatcher. But right now, if there was a portal I could go to and I could put in, docs that I don't want,
Private docs.
publicized
Yeah.
over the
Yeah.
entire net, I'm going to be stumbling around like a toddler for, a few weeks, who knows?
Yeah.
A few months.
Probably Cocoa is the first thing then, eh? Because, like, the NFS bit, we can just work around if sometimes your data got corrupted, that seems fine compared to all the time it's confidential.
Uh,
Right? Because that's really the Git thing. The Git thing gives you this resiliency, so it's always on. The Git thing actually definitely comes last now that I talk it out, because the Git thing is there for like the ultimate bomb proofing. But when there's no bombs, the vast majority of the time, it's going to be okay.
So if I was to, let me think about this. What would I care about? If I was to use this now, let's take my son's thing that we talked about. I don't want the world seeing that.
Right. So that's auth. I can give you. I'll have you that like sort of 24 hours type of thing.
Oh, awesome.
But that's auth. That's just auth, and I could probably look at it if I wanted to, if I really wanted to.
Yeah, but
and maybe I fucked up. Maybe I screwed up, and there's an exploit or a misconfiguration or something that someone else could get in into.
Who knows? But it's good enough. It's not open to the entire universe.
No, it's protected by what protects most stuff these days. Yeah.
The second thing that I care about is the gumption trap of losing all your work.
Well, it would be backed up to GitHub, so you're not going to lose it all.
I can lose a session I'm happy with that because if my
Yeah,
laptop crashed and I haven't saved a file, it's like that
yeah.
sucks a bit, but
The
fine.
the Git thing. If you were using the Git version and using the not Git version, you probably wouldn't notice any difference, really, right? So it's a lot of effort for not a lot of noticed gain. And the thing I want to get to as soon as possible is the currency or the trading. The trading of like not trading like here's $50, go buy me some pizza. Trading like an intrinsic currency, trading cocoa service, and
Well,
trading.
okay, on the stack rank then. Number one, I want the stuff that I do not to be, you know, open to the
Broadcast.
universe.
Yeah.
Fine. Second thing is, I don't want to have to redo any work because that's a complete
All right.
gumption
So
crap.
so that can be handled by automatically backing up to GitHub. So you'll always have that.
Yeah, just so long as there's persistence. So if you
Hmm.
know, my my laptop explodes, I need to go buy a new one.
Oh, right. Well, that
Do it,
yeah. So
come
that's
back in.
that's covered by this model anyway, without the GitHub thing.
Right. The GitHub thing I don't really need until I start to work with one other person.
The shared data thing. Well, even then, I guess you don't need GitHub, but uh, you don't. The thing that you to make the NFS service be backed by Git is what I'm talking about.
Um, Git is basically a deep store.
Yeah, so using Git on the NFS gives you all the features that you're talking about. But the NFS is not backed by Git. The NFS is backed by an SSD with a Linux file system on it.
But it is persistent.
It is
As
persistent,
far
but
as
it's not.
as far as I'm concerned, I can come back
Yeah,
in
as
and
far as you're concerned, yeah, yeah, yeah. And so I guess the
yeah.
the question is, I'm like, when Coco, when blockchain, when currency.
So you're in the stack rank. You're holding currency quite high.
Yeah,
Um,
because currency allows the trading of cocoa. It's not
yes,
it's not
right.
decentralized cocoa. It's
Because
not
right,
decentralized cocoa until anyone can supply it permissionlessly. It's still like supplied by us or controlled by us. It's still stamped by Tom and
exactly,
Scott. But the
exactly. So
currency
I can.
means it's permissionless cocoa.
So we had auth and we had persistence through NFS. Not necessarily backed by Git yet.
Yeah.
I it would be if I was to hand out, hey, Marley, why not use this? It's still coming off our coin.
Yep.
And so the next thing is, well, how is that dealt with?
Yeah, we
How
need
do
to
we?
bill you.
Yeah.
But then,
Um,
like, so I guess one of the things to figure out is like, do I want to even bother implementing billing using conventional means? Or if we just leap straight to Coco, the Coco model, we can implement billing in that intrinsic currency. And then you can offer packages backwards, which is like you put in $50 and at current rates that'll give you X Coco and we'll guarantee you this much Coco compute for the next 2 years or whatever. But it seems like to implement pay by credit card now is more work than to implement pay for cocoa in intrinsic currency. As crazy as that sounds,
that does sound crazy.
it sounds crazy, but if you the hardest thing in my mind right now is implementing cocoa because it's not hard because it's impossible. It's hard because it's fiddly. Like I have to tweak this, fiddle with that,
Hmm.
attest that,
Hmm.
attest that, blah blah blah. Right? It's doable. I would give it maybe like a week to get a prototype up, and then I'd be like, okay, well, this is what I learned, and this is what's hard and what's not. Right?
Okay, but we could put auth NFS in non-Coco.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
that's what I'm doing right now.
yeah, and
But then the
then
question is billing. Like
yeah,
billing, I think we should leave till I should go. I'll get this thing up and we'll use it, and then we'll use it to implement Cocoa, so that this whole thing, as it stands, runs on Cocoa, and then we get billing. In we can actually do billing without the Git layer because we can just use the NFS thing, and if it, if it goes bust, we're like whoopsie. But
yeah, yeah,
you can still use intrinsic currency payments without the blockchain underneath it. It's just that it's not decentralized, it's just distributed.
yeah,
So,
yeah, exactly. I mean, essentially, it's a ledger of what have you used and what
yeah,
do you owe.
yeah. And, Maxwell, it might even be possible to run that ledger as a Cocoa so that we're sort of hands off it. And then it's still not backed by Git, so it doesn't have the resilience, but it can operate with trustworthiness because the Cocos make sure that it's replicated faithfully.
That is a true statement. Um,
So I guess the reason why it needs to be backed by Git is so that it can be subject to consensus. Not the Coco removes the need for Byzantine fault tolerant consensus to some degree, but it still needs crash tolerant consensus. And so,
yes, yes, that's absolutely right. So
right?
let's take the happy path, which is I create a bunch of files. I work on a bunch of files that I also want Marla to have access to in her own computer. What's required for that? Like a
Uh,
CRM.
yeah, just
Uh,
GitHub, and this thing that we're talking about right here with just
it doesn't need to be crash tolerant though.
no,
We can just trust
yeah,
the assertions of the underlying NFS.
yeah. So I'll get that up. That'll be part of this system, and then that's done.
You see that like it sounds simple. It doesn't sound simple to me.
Well,
I don't know.
what's hard about that? Like it's
I have no idea because I've not been doing it. But man,
yeah, but it's just
traditionally that sounds really difficult.
no, because it's just you're just sharing a Git repo with each other, and there's some like automated pushing and pulling going on to make sure that you don't have to really know about Git or think about it, but that's all it is.
That
The
that
latency won't be great. Like maybe it'll be a couple of seconds from when you change something to when it shows up on the other side, but I don't think that really matters for the things you're talking about.
so let's take a CRM. There's a shared common pool of knowledge on Git, and I go in there and I put in, I talk to the bots, blah blah
Yep.
blah, and then go, yeah, okay, push that. He goes to Git. I
Yep.
go to sleep. Marla gets up. She comes and goes, okay, what's changed?
Yep.
And
Yeah, so
that
all that
that
doesn't
would be
need
awesome.
anything. Well, let's call this phase one, or let's call this the fly version.
Uh-huh.
Everything you've spoken about there only needs the fly version.
Yeah, I
And
think that's
even billing,
more.
I could probably put in some Stripe billing to just be like, look, we're just going to charge like $20 or whatever, just something. And then
Well, for now, you just need to log the usage of tokens, or you know,
tokens and fly resources.
yeah.
So
What's the correlation between those two?
there isn't
No,
one.
they're different. They're different. Aren't they? Yeah. So it's like just the underlying substrate of the compute
Mm.
and
The
your
storage, the
actual.
execution, and the AI tokens, and that's the
Yeah.
amount.
And for now, in terms of the shitty 0.1, just storing that, we don't really need to put charging in or currency in if you simply log usage
Sure.
for now.
Yeah, that's easy. Yeah. So I mean, it's still not clear what the next move after this is, but it is clear that this thing is enough to be very useful for us. So we'll get this up and then figure it out. Use this tool to figure it out, because this will do all of the things you've asked for. The things you haven't asked for are ones that most people would not notice, like crash tolerance. People just expect that to be there. But the reliability of servers these days is that most of the time you don't even notice because they don't crash.
Yeah, but even on Fly, we're kind of subcontracting that out for.
I've never seen one of their
and
machines fault.
availability.
I've never seen their machines crash, and they are pretty good at telling me when they crash. Like they, like it's so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the thing with crash availability is a pain in the arse. However, more pain in the arse is losing information, but we've got that because it's Git backed.
Mm.
So it's like, right, okay, so this thing is failed because of who knows.
Yeah, but we're relying on GitHub to be crash tolerant. So we're like, GitHub, don't forget. And then if we crash, we just recover from the last Git commit that we pushed up there. But that doesn't Git commit the running state of the system. That's the difference. We're still in classical computing land.
I'm okay with that for now because of the kind of buffer save thing.
Yeah.
Right? It's like I'm working. If the whole thing comes down, excuse me, if the whole thing comes down before I've committed, I'm not blaming the computer.
I don't know what to do. Like I can get this thing up, but it's not clear to me what comes next. Cocoa we want, right?
Yeah.
Attribution we want. You can do attribution without Cocoa and without the blockchain, without the currency. So maybe that's actually the thing to focus on, attribution.
In order to make this useful just for ourselves, that persistent storage, so that
that's coming. You keep that's going to be there.
I know, but I'm kind of working through what comes after that. So once we've got persistent storage, then we can work on attribution, and contribution is effectively they get store of what's been done.
Yep.
So attribution is the next thing, and then I guess we'll just have to like fly by seat of our pants for a while. Because
just wing it, yeah. I really want to get the Cocoa thing up because I'm scared that that's the only real difference between us and something else. And I also can see that Cocoa is the only way that you can give AI a soul or an uncopyable, irrevocable, a permanence. And I think that's a scary thing and a good thing, and we should do that.
We could get money for that right now.
How and where, and how much?
Probably quite a lot. If we
how much is a lot as a number?
6 figures. Now I'll give you some evidence for that. So we're getting a lot from the likes of Town, Shillings Bank, and so on, but they are obviously covered by their own security requirements. If we could show Cocoa and prove to them Cocoa, and then provide a service, they would probably go for that.
Who would pay 9-figure sums?
6 figures. Didn't say 9.
Oh, sorry. Anyway, it's 6-figure sums.
A chunk of cash. Those two would probably pay that just straight out. How would we prove it?
You need to be audited.
So we need to think about that, but that surely just comes from the usual audit process of where's your compute running, how are you running it, who has access, RBACs, all that kind of thing.
Well, it's still not clear which way to go. It is clear to finish this thing It does all the
The
features you ask.
well, the thing is, the next 2 3 steps seems very clear. After that, it gets really fuzzy
Super
quite quickly.
fuzzy, super quick, right? But we
Yeah.
know that after some period of unknown, it becomes very clear again. Must have Cocoa as a network of permissionless supply and consumption.
Right.
Therefore, must have currency, intrinsic currency.
Right.
Must have ambient attribution. Otherwise, like
Well, that's still our last redoubt, isn't it? The ambient
yeah,
attribution is,
yeah,
and
and
it's
then
one of the hardest things to get people to sign
yeah,
up to.
to
Interestingly.
be. We also know must have fault tolerance. Like must have dark edge. Really.
Yes, the fault tolerance thing. So if you think about the likes of Shillings, they're going to look for, maybe they might ask for 5 nines or they might ask for
Uh,
3 nines, but they're going to ask for something.
something. I'll tell you what. Why don't we? I'll get this thing up so that you can use it. I'll then work with you to hone it, to knock all the rough edges off and see what you like about it and all that. We'll
Yeah.
then use this thing to map out some of our plans, some of our future, but then I'll immediately run some probes into how hard is Coco really? Um, how hard is the NFS thing really? Like, I think I got a better handle
Yeah.
on that than the Coco. But if I spend like a couple of weeks just running prototypes and getting things stood up, then we'll know where we're pushing off to for the next long leg. Like we'll have the Dreamcatcher. What do you even call it? The prototype thing.
Yeah.
The agentic computer will be with us. We'll have our first hypercomputer. It won't necessarily be the Dreamcatcher hypercomputer, but to chart a course to that, we'll at least have a hypercomputer to help.
Yeah, exactly. And remember the security audits, I've always had a pretty dim view of because really just they look at the process. And
Oh no,
I'm
not these.
assuming,
No, we need one that actually audits the Cocoa parts of it, like an actual software audit.
well, isn't that just inheriting whatever the claims are of the cocoa
No,
providers?
not necessarily, because the implementation matters a lot.
So there would be some deep delve into, okay, so you're running on cocoa, yeah,
The
but
actual
how?
code base, yeah. What are you
Okay.
doing, and how are you mitigating all known attacks?
All right. Well, I'm on steady ground on just the whole security thing, so I'll have to think about that.
Mm. I
Okay, right.
honestly think it's not that hard. Like, I know that sounds
It's
weird to
it's not
say.
no, it's not that hard. It's just tedious.
Well, it's even less than that, because it's Coco's like once you boot the container and then you grab the attestation, from that point on you can do anything. Like, like you're safe. So
Yeah,
so like that bit is very light, and then you're like
yeah,
that's
yeah.
that layer's done. You
So
can
a security audit would be okay. How can you prove to us that you're running on cocoa?
Yeah, and,
That'd be
and
the
like you
first thing.
can't, once you're
Layer
in
attack.
Coco, you can't get out of Coco. Like you
Yeah.
can't, which is what I hate about traditional security, is that like there's so many fumbly bits. Like even when you've set up a
Oh God,
secure
yeah,
system, you're
yeah.
like, oh whoops.
Well, most of the security audits are, background checks on your sysadmin and stuff like that.
Yeah, right. But here it's
It's
not that. It's the actual code. And so what we want is we want the all the code that touches Coco needs to be like not changed ever and be very small. And that's to know that we can build that and cert that, then we're good, because we're like that's an achievable thing, and then we've got
yeah,
Coco
that's probably
forever.
not. It's probably not that hard. Well, it isn't that hard
It
actually.
isn't that hard,
No,
especially not with the models that we have running now. It's not that hard.
I'm not even sure that ISO 27004. Well, I know it wouldn't require a code review. It would just have to say, right, where are you running it and so on.
Yeah,
It's a bunch of,
because I mean, like,
assertions.
if we could deploy in the front lines, like if we could deploy Coco at the dark edge, it would also not really matter about the security audits. It's like, no, it's proven on a battlefield.
Yeah, that's right. The very next thing, if we're talking about security, the very next thing would be where are the models running? Because you can be running Coco and then going out to California and giving them all your information. So maybe
Well,
some
wha-
loads, some agents. So
you can still Coco the GPU.
yeah. But so in agent.toml, you can define where the model is, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
you go into five, fine. Who knows what five's doing with that data? So some loads are non-sensitive.
Yeah.
Let's go
Sure.
to the
Sure.
some will be run OSS or DeepSeek.
I had a great idea, actually.
Mhm.
I realized that what we can do is we can provide you with a confidential hypercomputer, but we can attach to it a container that we supply that, of course, is fully open source and yada, 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 that has like something like a very small image recognition model in it. And what it does is it attaches to your hypercomputer so that you can present a green tick that says that this image auditor or this information auditor has checked all the information in your hypercomputer and continues to do so in real time, and it guarantees that there's no objectionable materials on this thing, even though nobody but you saw the data, because you can run
That's interesting.
the auditor confidentially. It's just running within your Coco environment. You can run it in a way that you can prove that you ran it correctly and that it had full system access, that it was able to see your entire hypercomputer. You can prove that.
Right. So you could see, right, this payload, you're talking to this agent, say it's an organization. We don't care about this kind of load being run on anywhere, on any model anywhere. But this type of load, we have to be on-prem. And the auditor itself would be signed and secure. So audit-wise, all you'd have to do is to show that that auditor was actually secure and it's Coco, and so that's going to be easy. That would work.
That doesn't sound like you got the use case that I was trying to.
Oh, is it a different use case? It's a useful
Yep.
use case, but say your
So
one again.
one of the issues with the confidential computing system is people doing bad things on it.
Yeah.
Let's not go into what bad things are, but let's say that there is.
Yeah.
Right.
Whatever. Yeah.
And so having a bad things detector that was attached to your hypercomputer that checked all your data and then presented a publicly or shareable green tick that said no bad things here means that
Ah, right. So it's like a running audit.
a running
every
audit, yeah, that
every
you're not
whatever
doing
cycle.
anything bad, but because that's the biggest problem with confidential computing systems is people are like, oh, you could be doing anything in there, you could be doing really bad things, and we're like, we're not. Why do you need to see inside though? And this is a way to strike a common ground because we don't want people doing really bad things on our
What
systems with our
what would
software.
it be? What would it be checking? Would it be checking? Are you actually running on Coco? For example, would be one. Are
No,
you really who you said?
no,
What would you be checking?
the content of the data that you're processing.
So how would that work? Say if I was malfeasant and for some reason I managed to get part of the system running just on a local box, which was non-Coco.
You wouldn't be able to, like, the auditing system would be able to know. It wouldn't badge the whole computer because it'd be like, well, I can't see this part, or this part is running off Coco, so I can't attest that everything in the computer is safe
So it'd be a statement. But that
A
statement,
constant statement.
you could actually point an agent at that statement and saying, "Hey, are we, fulfilling all our
Well,
security
yeah,
requirements?"
like it could be like a in a the simplest example is just objectionable images, because I don't want people storing that shit on our machinery that we help to control. But
Uh,
because it's Coco, we can't look inside it, but we can
right.
provide this auditor so that we can look at the outside of a hypercomputer, and the auditor has a green tick and it's like nothing
Oh, I
objectionable
see what
here.
you're saying. I see. And that auditor would be able to probe inside and not
Mm.
tell us why, but give a green
Yeah,
tick or a
yeah.
red cross.
Green tick or an orange light where it's like not sure, some issues need remedying, I can't see inside this folder or this thing or
Oh,
whatever.
that's neat. That's
And
neat.
so
That
you
that
can, right?
yeah.
But it can actually, to use some of the ideas that you put in the mix there, you could also do it for something like a financial audit on a company where it checked for like minimum wage or slavery or other types of things without exposing the records themselves. It would just be able to give a green tick for that corporation saying,
Right,
I've checked
because it's a
everything.
cocoa. Yeah. It can be provable
Yeah,
that it's not going to tempest the information
yeah,
accidentally.
yeah.
That's really neat. I'm gonna have to go.
All right, buddy. No worries.
Can I just say thank you for you being tolerant of the current situation. Love these talks.
That's nice, buddy. I love these too.
They really pump me. Really pump me.
Yep. We're going to get there. And I
Yeah,
think we're going to get there really soon.
I think so. I think so.
All right.
Yeah. Right. I better go. Let's
If you
see.
if you get time, the DAO prompting would be a wonderful help. Um, even
Yeah.
just to be able to digest the docs and make a single, like, half-page statement about the state of play. That would be a great thing. To
Okay.
either have the output that I can then share the static copy, or be able to generate versions of it on the fly.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh,
I
I'll stop recording.